Winston Churchill, Complete Life History, Early Life and Background, 1874 to 1895. Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was born on November 30, 1874, at Blenheim Palace, Oxfordshire, England. He was the son of Lord Randolph Churchill, a British statesman, and Jenny Jerome, an American socialite. Despite struggling academically, he developed an early interest in military and political affairs. He attended Harrow School and later enrolled at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, graduating in 1895 as a cavalry officer. Military career and journalism, 1895 to 1900. Churchill served in the British Army in various colonial conflicts. Cuba, 1895, observed the Spanish-Cuban conflict. India, 1896 to 1897, served in the Malaccan Field Force against local tribes. Sudan, 1898, took part in the Battle of Omdurman. Second Boer War, 1899 to 1900. As a war correspondent in South Africa, he was captured by the Boers but made a daring escape, which made him a national hero. Early political career, 1900 to 1914. 1900, elected as Conservative MP for Oldham but later switched to the Liberal Party in 1904. 1908, became President of the Board of Trade under Prime Minister Herbert Asquith. 1910 to 1911, served as Home Secretary, advocating prison reforms. 1911, appointed First Lord of the Admiralty, modernizing the British Navy in preparation for World War I. World War I and political setback, 1914 to 1922, 1915, the failed Gallipoli campaign, Dardanelles, led to his resignation. 1916 to 1919, served on the Western Front as a battalion commander. 1919 to 1921, as Secretary of State for War, he was involved in British intervention against the Bolsheviks in Russia. 1922, lost his parliamentary seat and was politically sidelined. Interwar years, 1922 to 1939, 1924, rejoined the Conservative Party and became Chancellor of the Exchequer, 1924 to 1929, overseeing Britain's return to the gold standard. 1930s. Spent much of the decade warning against the rise of Nazi Germany and advocating rearmament, but he was largely ignored. World War II leadership, 1939 to 1945, 1939, with the outbreak of World War II, he was reappointed First Lord of the Admiralty. May 10, 1940, became Prime Minister after Neville Chamberlain resigned. Led Britain through the Battle of Britain, inspiring resistance against Nazi Germany with powerful speeches like, "We shall fight on the beaches," and "Their finest hour." Forged alliances with the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, forming the Grand Alliance against the Axis powers. 1945, as the war in Europe ended, Churchill played a major role in shaping the post-war world but lost the general election in July. Post-war years and second premiership, 1945 to 1955, 1946, gave the famous Iron Curtain speech in the US, warning about Soviet expansionism and marking the start of the Cold War. 1951, re-elected as Prime Minister at the age of 77. 1953, awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his historical writings. 1955, retired as Prime Minister due to health issues. Final years and death, 1955 to 1965, remained an MP until 1964. His health declined in the 1960s due to strokes. January 24, 1965, died at the age of 90. He was given a state funeral, the largest in British history at the time. Legacy. Churchill is remembered as one of Britain's greatest leaders, known for his wartime leadership, resilience, and eloquence. His impact on world history, literature, and politics remains profound.